So, welcome everybody. My name is Ivy Ellis. I'm the Executive Director of Northwest Home Equity Assurance Program, and I am here with Manny. What can I call you, Manny?
Yeah, yes, you may.
Okay, so
Yeah,
Manny,
hi everyone. Jimenez with Marquette Bank. Happy to be here today. I am First Vice President for Community Lending Products and Initiatives here at the bank. And we're going to go through some home improvement loan program questions and answers. And Ivy's going to walk us through some questions, and I'll do my best to answer them for you.
Manny is amazing. He knows this program like the back of his hand. So, just a little background. Manny has worked with this program for many, many years, even before we brought it on. He worked with Southwest Home Equity Assurance Program, which is our sister company that services the southwest side of Chicago. So he is an expert on the home improvement loan program and actually was part of our steering committee to get this off the ground with Northwest Home Equity Assurance. So with that, we're going to begin. So thank you so much again, Manny, for joining us today. And I'm excited to tell more people about this program, get it off the ground. It's only a year old, so we're still in our toddler phase, but we want to grow like we're in our adult phase. So, so one of
Thank you for having me,
thank you. One of my first questions, does the person have to be a member of the Northwest Home Equity Assurance Program in order to secure a home improvement loan from Marquette Bank, if that makes sense?
Yeah, so the short answer is yes. Yes, membership is required in order to participate in the home improvement loan program.
Oh, perfect. And in saying that, they can get equity loan through you guys, but they won't receive our interest rate, correct?
That's correct. Yes, if they are not a member, yes, we do offer home equity products as well.
Perfect. And so my second question is, if someone comes in and they don't have a copy of their most recent appraisal, or for us, a contract or participation, what are some steps that you guys do? Let's say they're a member, to reach out to us or to make sure that they're part of our program.
So in terms of, if you already are a member of the Northwest Side Home Equity Assurance Program, we'll take care of, if you apply, we'll take care of the rest. We'll contact Ivy and her staff and obtain the necessary documents so that we can proceed with the loan. And if you're not a member, then we'll take a step back and put you in contact with Ivy and her staff to ensure that you can begin the process to become a member. And in the interim, we can see what we can do to get the application going while the membership process goes on.
Perfect. So I know when people join our program, it's an initial fee of $150, and that pays for the appraisal. One of the hot questions that we get from people who are interested in a program is there any additional fees besides that initial $150 that they pay for their appraisal for our program?
So as part of the home improvement loan program, there are no fees involved with the actual loan and loan process. So other than you paying back the money that you borrowed, there are no fees involved with the loan itself. Any fees that are incurred, Marquette Bank will pay for those fees. There are some things that we do have to do as part of the loan process. So we will incur some fees, but again, Marquette Bank will pick up those fees. So there are no fees to the borrower for this program.
That's amazing. That's like a home run. I'm sold. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that because I work in the program, but I'm saying that because it's just a really great deal that you don't see that often, especially in, out here. Even with the market being low, you still don't see anything this valuable that's gonna, after the market shoots back up, it's gonna stay the same, right? So
yes. Yes. We hope everything continues just as good. So
I think it's beneficial for us regular folks like me.
Absolutely.
So what is the high end or the median credit score that you guys are looking for this particular home improvement loan?
Right. So the median credit score for this particular program is 630. So 630 FICO score is what we're looking for this particular program.
Now, is it 630 between all three, or is it just 630 with the median? So which one are you looking
So it's typically the median is what they look at. I'm not an underwriter and I don't make the credit
at?
decisions, but you usually look at the median, which is today it's 630.
Perfect. Okay. And what are some important things a person would need to know to qualify for the loan? So, does a person have to have equity in their home? And outside of the 630 credit score, is there anything else? Does the home have to be in a certain upkeep? Like, does it have to be completely finished? I mean, what are some things that people have to do to qualify?
So the first thing, the very important thing is there does need to be equity in the property, which once you become a member, we'll be able to know that with the value of of the most recent certificate. We'll be able to know if you have equity, and equity is required. You have to have at least 20% equity in the property. Um, and secondly, the home does have to be in habitable condition, right? So it can't be a loan for a rehab or anything like that. You have to own the property, has to be a primary residence. And again, this is for update home improvement type stuff. So you also have to have qualifying income, right? You have to be employed. There are some guidelines um, with being employed. And then, there can only be one lien on the property because this is a home equity loan. So the home equity loan would be a second lien. And that's typical with all lenders is you cannot have more than two liens on the property. So if you already have an existing home equity loan or a home equity line of credit, then you may not be eligible for this program. But what we encourage you is to give us a call if there are some of these type of questions, because everyone is different. Every individual has a different circumstance, and sometimes it's better to talk about uh, your individual situation. But these are just some general guidelines, and we'll have our contact information put out at later on in this video so that you can let us know, set up a time to talk or send us an email.
Okay. So what if somebody is retired? Does retirement or pension count as qualifying income?
Yes, typically, income from a pension or Social Security income, that's all income because most of those incomes are in place of your employment, right? Because you've retired or you have that pension from your union or from any other place you may have. So qualifying, the term is used, qualifying income, and again, the underwriter makes those decisions based on what they see in the file. So it'll be our job to gather the information, put together the application, and submit that so that underwriting can let us know, what else they may be looking for. But to answer your question, yes, typically pension, Social Security, or W-2 income, self-employed borrowers is all qualifying income.
Okay, perfect. And what are the terms and conditions of the loan? And will someone be penalized if they decide to pay the loan off early? So is it like a clause for like a early termination? Will they be penalized for early termination? And what are some quick terms and conditions?
Okay, so currently we have three options at the Northwest Side Home Equity Assurance Program. So the most probably the most common option that hopefully we're going to start seeing here soon is up to $10,000 at 0% interest, right? So you can borrow up to $10,000 at 0% interest. The minimum is 1,000, right? There's option two, which you can go up to $20,000, and that's at a 2% interest rate. Or the final option, which is option three, you can go up to $30,000, and that's at a 4% interest rate. And all of these options are on a 5-year term, and there's no prepayment penalty for any of them. So if you want to send a little extra to pay it off early, or you want to pay it off sooner than that 5-year term, that's all acceptable. There's no prepayment penalty. Typically, what I can tell you from our experience at the Southwest Home Equity Assurance Program, since we've had that program for over 20 years, most folks that borrow the 0% interest typically pay it off in the 3.5 years or so. And what they do is they pay it off and then come back and apply for a new one because they have a new project that they want to work on. So they borrow another $10,000
Wow.
or whatever the number may be for them.
So Manny, you telling me I can borrow, pay it off, and then come back and get it again without being penalized?
So yes, there's no, currently the program allows you to borrow as many times as you'd like. You just can't have two out at the same time. So if you're about a year out or 2 years out and you want to do a larger project, and in this case, go with option 3, for example, because you want to redo your kitchen or what have you, absolutely. You just can't have two out at the same time. But you can borrow it. You can borrow as many times as needed.
Perfect. Now, this is the biggest thing. So, like somebody like me, let's say my credit's not 100% together, or I don't quite have that 20% equity in my home. How do I, what happens if I don't qualify the first? Can I come back and reapply?
Yeah, so depending on the process, right? Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, I'm not an underwriter. I don't make credit decisions, but it's my job to sort of gather the information and sort of give you some options and give you my opinion on sort of what we have. But if you do apply and it so happens that you do get denied by our underwriters, typically they'll give you a reason for that denial, and that's something that we can work on together, right? If it's, as you mentioned, if it's something that that you had an issue with in the past, or okay, yeah, I do need to take care of that, and you do it, 30 days later, you can certainly come back and reapply. We'll probably go through some steps just to make sure that the item was either cleared off of your credit, or maybe you weren't on the job, for the length of time that was needed, or depending on everyone's individual situation, we'll sit down and go through it. And then, when you're ready to apply, we always encourage everyone to apply as things change. Your credit can be better, your income can be better. There so many things change that we always encourage everyone to come and apply. Let's gather your information. Let's let the underwriting staff let us know what we can do, or maybe they'll surprise us and you'll get approved because something changed in your file.
And where can I apply for the loan? So, especially now. So, a lot of people are sheltering in place, and some people are just getting back to them. So, where can I go apply? Can I apply online? Do I have to actually physically come to Marquette? How does that work?
Yeah, so as you know, the banks are essential.
Yes.
So we are open. We are open by appointments. We would need to set up appointments, or there is an online option that we will. Ivy will put that information down on the screen or add it to one of the slides. But there is an online option to be able to do some of this stuff. Our systems are really good now, where the majority of your application can be done through what we refer to as e-consent, e-sign. There are some forms that will require what is known as a wet signature, meaning you have to print it up and sign it, and therefore scan it back or fax it to us, whichever is easier. But yes, the application process can for the most part be done virtually / online. Once we get to the closing, that is a little bit different. That we would need to do something face-to-face, set up an appointment. We have done the options of going to folks' homes. We have done the options of folks coming in. We do ask some typical questions with regards to what's going on with COVID-19 right now, but we haven't had any issues, and so business has been sort of as usual, just with some slight changes. And for the most part, if you're willing to work with us, we'll figure out a way to accommodate everyone in this process as best as possible in order to get you from application to closing.
Awesome. Well, you guys gave a lot of different ways for people to make it easier, and that's the thing. We're in unprecedented times, so it's very important to make sure that we're making it as easy on each other as possible. So thank you.
Yes. Yes.
How long does this process take? So in general, because I know everybody is different, right? So
Right.
in general, on average, how long does the process take?
So on average, the process usually takes anywhere about 15 to 20 business days. Again, as you mentioned, depending with what's going on. Obviously, with rates and other programs going on right now, um, things may take a little bit longer. But typically, it's 15 to 20 business days, and it also depends on you as the individual applying, right? So there are some folks that are really good about getting us all the information we need the first time upfront when we submit application. So that helps to process out quickly, because then processing can get the application moved right along into underwriting because we're not waiting on anything. So also depends on, you submitting the proper information to us that we asked for. But yeah, typically it's 15 to 20 business days, so 3 to 4 weeks.
Okay, that's good. So what's covered or considered home improvement?
Right. So I think first and foremost, the program eligibility requires this to be future home improvement. So any projects that are complete or anything that is half complete, are not going to be eligible to be used with these funds. So just please keep that in mind as you begin looking into this program. That's extremely important. That something that's complete or is almost complete that won't be eligible, these funds won't be eligible to be used. It's all for future home improvement, right? And typically how we define home improvement is anything that's going to be physically staying with the home if you decide to sell tomorrow. So for example, if you wanted to paint the home, or you wanted to redo your landscaping, or unfortunately with what's going on right now with all this rain, if you needed to sort of weatherproof your basement or the outside, perhaps new sidewalks or what have you. So I think, those are the typical things. Fences, we get a lot, we get a lot of folks with new garages and outside work a lot of the times is important, especially during this time. And although we are in a bit of a different situation right now, there are a lot of folks inquiring right now about the program as to sort of what they can do, which is probably what inspired Ivy to ask us to do this video, so that once we are ready to go, folks can do it. But, the program does become pretty popular because, again, instead of them using their own money or emptying out their savings account, they can borrow up to $10,000 to improve that bathroom or to redo that deck for summertime, and get it at sort of 0% interest. So it's a win-win for all. A lot of folks, look at a 0% interest and think that's not true. There's got to be something going on with it. But sort of, Ivy and I are here today to tell you that it is a true program. It does exist. Like Ivy mentioned, we have done this program in the past on the Southwest side, which is still existent. So you can look that up to show you that it has existed and it's now available at the Northwest Side Home Equity Assurance Program. And the 0%, don't let that sort of sway you away, because it's something that's out there. And again, for more information, please contact me directly at 773-918-4507. Obviously, Ivy will give you her information because sometimes folks think, maybe it's the bank, but most of it, when we have an agency or an organization that is neighborhood driven, it helps sort of make the residents at ease. So I think with that, Ivy, if there's anything else.
No, thank you so much for your time. And yes, everyone, thank you for those who are viewing this. If you have questions, you guys can reach out to us. We do have a new home. So we're no longer in our old location. We did move, and that address is below. And you could reach us anytime, and trust me, anytime, because the phones are connected to my cell phone. And so it's 773-622-0700. That's our phone number. And again, all this information will be at the bottom for you to copy and paste, for you to write down, because I know we're going kind of fast. But yeah, we're here to help, and it is 100% 0% interest up to $10,000. And again, take advantage. That's why we have this program. We want people to take advantage of it. It is a great program. Get your home fixed. We're all at home now. Build that room you always wanted to build out. Paint those walls. Do whatever you want, but well, not everything, not whatever you want, but do whatever you want within the parameters of the program. And we're here to assist you. So if you have any other questions, reach out to myself. Manny is a wealth of information and knowledge because he's done this program much longer than our organization has. So he knows the ins and outs, and he is definitely here to assist. So thank you again.
All right, thanks again for having us, and look forward to hearing from all of you, and look forward to hearing from you.